Hey everybody, how's it going out there today? I'm gonna come at you with a quick intro to a longer video, then I'll come back and do a outro to it. I did a video the other day of, like taking you along on the job site and showing you the doctor's office, a couple of computers that I work on. I don't know how exciting that was, but and I know Ben and I think a couple other people sent messages saying, they find it interesting to see what people do, like in their everyday lives, whether it's, job or, sometimes something other than pipes. And when I started this channel, I knew it was not going to be 100% about pipes and cigars. That's going to be a big part of it, but so I'm going to I put together some pictures of a project that we did, of a construction project. And I say construction, this is actually a addition onto a house. We are up in, this is one of the projects I work on. My brother, him and his partner own a construction company up there, remodeling. It could be anything from building a house from the ground up to doing major to minor remodeling, siding, windows, roofing, electrical, plumbing, you name it. And so anyway, I went up there to help them with this project. And we're going to start my slideshow out here. And it's all pictures, and I'm doing voiceovers to kind of explain what we've done and where we're going with it. And so the foundation, I don't have any pictures of us doing the foundation. Of course, this was a big enough project. We just did all the forms and then called in concrete company to, bring the trucks out and pour the concrete. And we actually let them do the leveling and everything, because it's a pretty big concrete foundation here. We've got about a 2.5, maybe almost 3 foot crawl space underneath it. And then we've got, so where we start this slideshow, we've already got the sub floor down on top of the foundation. We've got the bottom plate down where the walls are, and where these pictures start is where we've got, I think, most of the walls built, the 2x4 studs, and we're getting ready to stand them up and anchor them. We did this on, we used 16-inch centers with 2x6 construction. So if a tornado comes along, of course, out in the middle of Kansas, which is not unheard of out there. So if a tornado comes along, it'll blow that entire house away, but this addition is still going to be standing there. So it is incredibly solid. And as we go through here, you may or may not notice there are some pictures out of order, and I kind of even mention it. On some of them, I don't even mention it because it's like, wait a minute, how can we be building that when this other thing hasn't even been done yet? And so, but it's there. And then I'm missing a lot of pictures. We must have had another camera run, like my brother's camera or something like that, and I don't have it. I thought I had this whole project on here, but I don't. And so, but I think it'll be kind of interesting. Just another thing that we do. I've got to go up there probably in about another month. We're going to do something very similar. We've got a huge garage/workshop to build, and then another house addition to build. So I'll try to get some actual video of that when we're up there doing that. And so this is just a bunch of pictures, rotating slideshow. I've got voiceover on part of it. You can fast forward if you want, if you don't care about it, but I just thought I'd show you what another one of the things I do, and I'll go into the slideshow from here. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
So here we are at the beginning of the project. I don't have any pictures of us getting the foundation down, the subfloor down, or building these walls, but that's what you're seeing right there. The walls, we pretty much got the walls built. We're getting ready to stand them up and anchor them. And then here's just another section of wall that we will stand up. And then that's me over there in the background, taking a break, leaning on the pickup. Another section of wall here. And I'm probably looking for something I dropped, it looks like. We got them braced down to the ground to hold them until we get everything done. Screwing everything in with probably 3-inch screws, most likely, is what we use most of the time. Then here we go with all 4 walls up. You can see our cutouts for the windows and the doors. standing on top of the foundation there and just posing for a picture. And here's another fake one where I'm just posing for a picture. We don't hammer anything up there. Now we're actually decking, or not decking, but sheeting the outside walls, putting OSB up, and then eventually we'll have fan fold insulation that goes on the outside, and then siding. Here we are done with the sheeting all the way around, except for that tiny bit there at the top, which once we get the rafters on, we'll sheet from there all the way up to the top of the roof. Now back over there in the distance, in the background where you see those two guys, are a stack of rafters. Of course, now rafters, to pass code, they have to be done by engineers. So we've got to do all the measurements, send them into an engineering company. They'll build them and deliver them. So we had these rafters built, measured, built, delivered on site, and the homeowner starts changing specifications after we get the rafters in. So now the rafters are not going to be the right size. So you see the one rafter there that's laying on the ground. There is an extra brace at the bottom. We are lengthening these rafters, so we're making them about another 18 inches taller. We're putting more bracing in there to make it sturdy enough to hold. And as you see in some of the other pictures, you'll see some of our engineering. Would that pass code? Maybe, maybe not. Depends on who sees it. Here we've got our first rafter up. We've measured, tested, make sure it's going to work. Here we're putting a series of rafters up, and since we're out here in the middle of nowhere in farm country, we use farm equipment. So there we just got a regular tractor with a bucket, grapple on there. We put a long boom on there to give us higher and farther reach, and we lift them up. So one of us will be on top or inside once we get them in position with the, using levels and measuring and everything, and then we'll start to screw them in, and then we'll start bracing them. And so that's what we're in the process of doing right here, getting all of these rafters in place. Now that's my brother up there posing for a picture. There we're bracing the rafters. We've got all those braces measured in between so they're all the same distance. And then before we finalize it and put the decking on top, we'll measure again and make sure we're all aligned. Here we're putting down that run of OSB right down the middle of the rafters for a couple of reasons. One, make it a little bit more sturdy. Main reason, it'll help us as we're walking and working up there. Plus it'll give the homeowner a little bit of storage space up there. Now we're just playing with the camera right before we finish that run down the middle. There the run is completely in. I'm up here playing around taking pictures while they're, I don't know where they went to grab some supplies or what they did, but I thought, well, I'm going to take a few pictures. Here we go. That picture is actually out of order because we're putting in the very last rafter up there. So these pictures are a little bit out of order, but there's the very last rafter is in. There, all the rafters are done. All that little rat run down the middle is done. Now here, we're actually decking up to the top of the rafters. And some of these pictures I can tell are out of order. But notice there on the bucket, we got the boom off. We got a regular set of forks, like forklift forks on there. We got two pallets that we've put together with 2 sheets of 4x8 OSB on there. So that'll make us basically a mobile scaffolding that is 16 feet wide, gives us a platform to work off of. Here I'm just putting what we call barge rafters up there. Basically it allows us to build the eave out, give us a place to put soffit on, and then we will take that barge rafters all the way up to the top. Up at the very top peak, we are at about 25, 26 feet up off the ground, so we're a little over 2.5 stories. There is rafters that we are getting ready to put decking on the top, and that's what I'm doing right there. And we'll load up our 4x8 OSB on the bucket, lift it up there for us, slap it on top. And that's a steep enough roof. We had to put those 2x4s on there to try to keep us from falling off. All the tools will fall off. So they're just a safety measure. And then here we go again. Now my brother's down there in the bottom. While I'm working, of course, and he's playing with the camera. So now we've got it tied into the existing roof line of the existing house. And we will be ready to start shingling that any moment. There's just a quick pic of some electrical we're doing. I don't have any more pictures of that. There's an empty trailer behind my pickup, and you know what empty trailer means. It's time to go get some supplies. So now we're coming back with siding, the plywood for the floor, insulation for the walls and the ceiling. Time for break. Notice we do have the underlayment on the roof. I don't have any pictures of that. That goes, I mean, we are literally almost running back and forth on that roof when we're putting that down. We got windows in, siding on, well, partially siding, some fan fold on. And then between that last picture and this picture, I am missing a ton of pictures. I either stopped taking them or we got them on a different camera or somewhere. But anyway, we got the siding done, we got the doors in, we got it completely shingled, and we're starting to work on the inside. We got the inside, all the electrical done, we got all the insulation in, we got all the drywall in, the walls and the ceiling, and we've also got all that drywall that we just put in. We've got it all taped, mudded, sanded, mudded, sanded, mudded, sanded, mudded, sanded. We typically run at least 4 coats of mud and sanding, and then maybe a 5th one. When those walls will be incredibly smooth by the time we're done. And if you notice these walls there in the background, they are already primed, so we've even got all the priming done. Now these 2x4 walls you're seeing here, we are building a small bathroom in this room. So he'll have, you know, a small vanity, commode, sink, and a shower in there. So that's what we're in the process of building here. Now those walls are up for the bathroom in there, and you can see we've got, looks like our second coat of, they've been taped, second coat of mud on there. So once that dries, we'll sand, put another coat on, sand, put another coat on, sand until we get it done. And then this is where I got my call in the middle of the night and had to leave these guys to finish the project, which we got most of the difficult stuff done out of the way, so they were able to finish it. This has got about a 2.5 foot crawl space underneath the foundation, underneath the floor there. So all the plumbing had already been done. So really about all they have left to do is prime that wall there. We're letting the homeowners pick out the paint and do the painting themselves. They'll install the shower, sink, toilet, you know, hook that up to the plumbing, finish wiring the lights in. All the electrical wiring has been done. All the switches have been done. All the plugs have been done. We just got to put the lights in the ceiling and then call the power company out and have them turn the power on and then put the floor down. And that was really about it. So I was there for about 99% of the, maybe 98, 97% of the project before I had to go to see what was going on with my daughter.
There we go, guys. And as you saw, we got cut off there because that's where I got the call to. I had to go see what was going on with my daughter and her accident, so they had to finish up. But they were almost done. I think, and I can't remember whether I mentioned this on the slideshow, but about all they had left to do was finish mudding and sanding that bathroom wall, get the primer up on it, and go down with the actual floor. They were doing some type of laminate floor, if I remember right. We had the material there, but I don't remember what it was off the top of my head. They had to install the heater and air conditioner, which we already had everything. It was basically just install and hook it up and then call the power company out to flip the switch, and that was about it. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. If you made it through the whole thing, if not, doesn't matter. And I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.